Baloo.
Hello, Mr. Mayor, City Council members, and citizens of Chino. My name is Shannon Baloo, and I have lived in the city of Chino for over 35 years. I have seen the city grow over my lifespan, from farmland into a thriving community. When people ask me where I live, I proudly say Chino. My family roots in Chino are long. My family have been active community members for over 60 years. Longtime Chino residents have a saying: if you've lived in Chino long enough, you end up knowing everyone. It is this small town feel in what has become quite a large city that makes me proud to raise my two daughters here. It is no coincidence that we have been repeatedly voted one of the best places to raise a family. Our streets are safe, our police officers efficient, our fire department strong, and our schools among the best in the county and the state. One of my coworkers and I were talking about growing up in Chino just the other day, and I mentioned that my grandparents had a meat shop for many years. He asked me what it was called, and I told him Elrod and Son Meats. He remembered my grandpa and how he looked forward to going to the meat shop to get the free hot dog my grandpa gave them while his mom shopped. It is stories like that that make me never want to leave. Since both sets of my grandparents were small business owners, they worked hard. They instilled in my parents a strong work ethic. This work ethic they demonstrated to my brother and myself, and we value today. My husband Tim, a local business owner in Chino, and I, an educator, do our best to teach and model these same values of hard work, family, friends, and community to our young girls. My family has a true love for this city. It is because of this love that as a child I stuffed envelopes and licked stamps for local elections. I remember walking precincts with my mom, hoping to convince our neighbors that Fred Aguirre should be our next mayor. My brother and I started our community service as children. We accompanied our parents on many city functions. We set up tables for fundraisers, barbecued burgers and hot dogs at the Demolition Derby and the Corn Feed Run, decorated for various Sweethearts Ball, Vanity Nights, and Mayor's Ball. I always had pride in knowing that these events help keep Chino the tight-knit community that I know and love. I say these things because recently I have felt that our city is under attack. Lee Mcgroarty seems not to feel the same way about our town. I have read his many articles in West Coast Magazine and seen his mailers that come to the house. Many of his methods I have thought were tacky, but I have kept my opinions to myself. I don't feel that I can any longer. Lee Mcgroarty is now publicly criticizing my parents. Since my father is currently sitting before me on the council, having beat Mr. Mcgroarty in the last council member election, I understand that my dad's decisions and actions are up for scrutiny because of the office he holds. What I am deeply concerned and disappointed about is his current attack on my mother. Sandra Elrod has been a hard-working woman her entire life. She worked side by side with my dad in the meat shop for most of my childhood. She is kind to everyone she meets. While my brother and I were adolescents, she worked for her good friend as a travel agent before being approached to work as a staff member for the late Senator Ayala. Senator, as we called him, was from Chino and knew the potential of my mom. After working for years for the senator, she became his chief of staff. He knew what an intelligent and hardworking woman she was. She worked as his chief of staff until he retired. She was then recruited to work for the Inland Empire Utilities Agency. She is their current public information officer. She does not make or suggest policy. She works for the elected board and is their spokesperson. What she really loves about the job is the connection with the community. She helps run and organize many events in the county. My mom is an upstanding and dedicated citizen of Chino. His campaign strategy of criticizing private citizens is deplorable and unacceptable. I am offended by Mr. Mcgroarty's attacks on the city of Chino. Those that have lived here in this city for many years know that those in office have the city's best interest at heart. I know that it would bring my parents great joy to have my girls raise their families in the city of Chino. I've spoken with our mayor and council members on many occasions about what we love about Chino. They want what is best for our town and work very diligently to achieve it. I don't know one person in front of me that is here for their self-interests, as Mr. Mcgroarty has stated. I know that some do not take the compensation that is offered to them. They volunteer their time and energy to make the city the great place to live that it is. Thank you, Mr. Mayor and Council, for all that you do to make Chino a great place to live and raise a family. Thank you.
Thank you.